Hi, I'm Kenny Klaus, and this is State 48 Homeowner.
Hey everybody, homes are getting smarter, and in most cases, you can smarten them up yourselves. So today we're talking about smart home tech, and we have with us TJ Watson. How you doing, TJ?
Doing great. How are you doing?
So, where do we start when we're talking smart homes? We've got some options.
Yeah, we've got a lot of options. Actually, a lot of people don't start because they're overwhelmed at first.
Yeah.
And so I think the best place to start is determining what kind of ecosystem you want to be in. That comes down to three different ecosystems. You've got the Google ecosystem, the Amazon ecosystem, and then the Apple ecosystem. And most Android users tend to stick with the Google ecosystem when possible.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Unless we go Amazon.
Unless you go Amazon. And those two actually work very nicely together. Apple doesn't play nice with any of
No,
us.
they
No
sure
surprise.
don't. And I am a staunch Android person, and yeah, every time I try to work with Apple stuff, it doesn't work. My daughter,
Right.
Apple, and everything seems to work just fine for her. So I think it all works. It's just we get into our little worlds, and yeah, everything doesn't speak well to
exactly.
each other.
So, like with I'll give you an example of that. I'm an Apple guy. Don't kick me off the show or anything right now.
It's okay. You know, some people can be right.
You know, maybe someday I'll appreciate better quality, but for now, I stick with the Apple. And but in my house, all my smart devices are either Google or Amazon.
Okay, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with the support. So this comes down to choosing one of those three ecosystems. What do you want to be in? I'll give you an example of my smart home. My smart home consists of an Ecobee thermostat. I've got a couple of smart lights. They're hooked into little Casa, smart wall adapters. And then I've got the Echo devices. I've got some on the patio. There's one in my bedroom. The soundbar's Echo. The TV has built-in Echo. And then I've got one of those Echo shows, those display screens, that show you what's going on. And then for camera setup, I've got Ring cameras. 8 different Ring cameras around the house. And everything plays nice together.
Yeah.
But if I were just locked into the Apple ecosystem, I would have to have an Apple Smart Hub, like one of their HomePod speakers. And then everything else would have to be Apple compatible. And Apple is, how they are. If they want something to work with their platform, they're going to make you pay for it.
Yeah.
Whereas Google has always prided themselves in being open source and allowing over 50,000 smart devices on their ecosystem.
Yeah, I've never had so I use, it's Echo based. And then, just a mixture of plugs, light bulbs, switches, Ring, and everything for the most part works incredibly well together. I think my favorite thing lately has been the MyQ garage door adapter that allows Amazon to deliver into my garage.
Huge improvement.
And there's camera attached to that, so I can see what they're doing, and they know that there's accountability there. So I've never had an issue as far as all that goes. And I've got a smart thermostat as well.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing about MyQ as well is, we all get busy, right? And you go to leave your house, and sometimes you're in a hurry.
Yeah.
Right? You're trying to set up your favorite song on the radio as you're backing out of the driveway and not paying attention. You might get down the road and wonder if your garage door is open
and
or closed.
That's actually the reason I got it.
Yeah,
and the whole Amazon delivery was separate. It was, you get to the end of the block and did I close it? 9 times out of 10, it did close, but 1 out of 10
about that one
it
time?
didn't. And so I got that, and then realized that now I don't use it for that. I'm just using it for the Amazon, but
yeah, what I use mine for is I have pest control that comes, once a month, and I'm not always home. My wife and I both work. Most recently, with summertime, we've been taking trips like everyone else, and we're out of town. We're actually in Montana 3 weeks ago, and the pest control guy was like, "I can get there today," and so I don't want to skip that. Obviously, it's scorpion season and such, and so he's like, "How am I going to get in?" And it was very convenient. I'm in Montana. I open up my MyQ app. Garage door shows that it's closed. Boom. Hit it, go on in. So it really makes life easier without a lot of difficult setup.
Mine gives me a little entertainment as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
my kids take the bus, and so I don't sit there and watch the video that's attached to it ever, really. And I'll get a text from my daughter that says, you should probably look at it today.
Oh, yeah?
There's some crazy dance that she's decided to do. And
fun.
it just makes me laugh while I'm at the office.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, smart tech can be fun. It doesn't have to be challenging.
No, it's not. And it's super easy to find.
Yeah.
If you just, man, I sure wish my house did this.
Mm-hmm.
You can generally find a solution for it.
Yeah, and you can create automations that are fantastic. In Amazon, I'm sure you're familiar with the thing called Skills, right?
Mm-hmm.
So within their app, they've got a section of it called Skills, and one that we recently set up was you can tell Alexa good night. So in our bedroom where that Alexa soundbar is, we say, hey Alexa, good night. And when that happens, it turns off our bedroom light. It locks our front door, because we have one of those Yell smart locks. And at that same time, it goes to our Ecobee thermostat and then drops it down to our desired sleeping temperature. And then if you say good morning to it, we don't have these yet, but now that my wife knows about it, she wants them, right? Motorized curtains, you can tell it good morning. And at that time, it can open up your curtains. It can start a playlist for you if you want to kind of jam out as you're getting ready for work. It's just incredible what they can do.
Yeah, I've added so my good morning for Alexa, it turns on the bedroom lights.
Yeah.
It tells me good morning. It gives me the news.
Oh, nice.
And it also, I programmed it to say, good morning, I'm pretty sure that you're not too lazy to get on the Peloton this morning.
You got an accountability partner.
Yeah, so it makes it a little bit easier.
This video is brought to you by Klausteam Real Estate Solutions. The Klaus Team is different. With the Klaus Team, you have someone on your side. Where you live and make memories is important. We have more unique strategies than anyone else to help you accomplish what matters most to you. We can help you with traditional real estate as well as other options such as our lease purchase programs. We can help you buy first then sell, and we can bring you instant offers. We're here to help our neighbors achieve the American dream and help them build wealth through home ownership. For more info or to start your home search, visit us online at klausteam.com.
So how do we choose what's best for our house?
If you're a Google user, there's the Google Home app that's built right into your Android operating system already. Nice thing about that is you can say, hey, you know who, and it will go ahead and do all of your smart functions right from that Google Home app. That being said, if you're someone like myself who's an Apple user, you still have that Google Home app available for you to download, so you can still use those Google products, but it's not as seamless when you're dealing with the two ecosystems.
Yeah, because you can't. Can you tell Siri to do something
through Google?
Through Google.
No.
Okay.
Not without launching the Google app first.
Okay.
So there's still some manual work that needs to be done on your end. Isn't that crazy world that we live in that we're talking about manual work launching an app?
Yeah. How difficult it is to be able to talk to my phone and tell it to do something.
Yeah, so can it be done? Sure. What I found is the happy medium is the Amazon stuff. So pretty much anything with the Alexa title in it. Their show, which is the display screen. It's great. It's got your weather. It tells you everything. It links up very nice with your cameras. The Amazon skills that are built into my TV are great. I'll give you an example of that. We do a lot of entertaining at our house. The weather's about to get nicer here, so we're going to spend more time on our back patio. It's also football season. So here's what happens is we're out on the back patio, everybody's having a good time, football's going, and maybe you ordered pizza, right? And the delivery person comes up and you're hoping that it's them, but maybe it's somebody else that you don't need to really pay attention to. Maybe it's an Amazon delivery, or maybe it's a religious group that wants to try and help you. And so what you do in that is you get notified on the screen. It pops up, hey, there's somebody at your door, and I could just say, hey Alexa, show me the front door. And all of a sudden it cuts off football. I know. But it'll cut it off and it's going to show you the screen of who's at your front door. So then you can make a decision. Do I ignore it? Do I need to get up there and get the pizza? What do I need to do?
Yeah, we kind of built some stuff in where, so I've got lamps on the side that have smart bulbs in them, and they're colored.
Oh, nice.
And so they'll generally be a bright white or something like that. Problem is you can see the reflection in the TV, and so we do have we say Alexa movie time, and it changes them to a dark blue.
Nice.
So it still lights up the room, but it doesn't reflect. And then we do have the Alexa Go Pack Go, and it changes to yellow and green.
Oh, nice.
For the Packer games.
Yeah.
So we can make sure those are working.
You can set up other skills too. So did you know with like you're watching the Packer game, you can set it up for whenever they get a touchdown. It does like a flash, to get your attention. It creates a little more excitement.
Yeah. The downside to that is when you're streaming games, you'll find out that you get a touchdown about 30 seconds before you actually see the touchdown.
Oh.
it'll notify you in real time.
You're like,
but you have that delay from the stream.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're watching on like a YouTube TV or something like that, you're generally about 30 seconds behind the actual game.
Yeah, it's like you want him to get the touchdown, but you want to be like excited.
And that doesn't matter either, because my dad will be watching on cable in California and will text me, "Hey, great, that was a great touchdown." It's like,
Dad,
just wait a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't happened here yet.
Yeah.
So how do people really decide if they're Apple people and they're totally committed, they go with Apple?
Mm-hmm.
Can you change midway through, or are you committed with the hardware?
So Apple, I would like to think of all their devices as an investment.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to be much more expensive. But when you're within their ecosystem, the compatibility is second to none. If you talk to anybody that's an Android person and maybe they got a daughter that uses an iPad or something, you'll find that they'll always tell you that she loves it and the way that everything syncs together is fantastic. So we found that people that do go into that ecosystem tend to stay with it.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to add other devices to it, they still can. You can still make your Amazon devices work with it, but again, now you're having to launch HomeKit,
mm-hmm.
which actually isn't all that compatible. So there are some that it'll work with, but maybe there's one from another manufacturer that a friend has that you really like.
Mm-hmm.
It may not work. So it's a decision you got to make, and a lot of Apple people will make sacrifices or compromises on having certain features. We've seen this with Android phones for years now, where Android phones have had a feature and then Apple 5 years later gets it, and they're just okay with not having it.
Yeah.
So if you're that person, then you're probably going to stick it out and go for it. But I would say for 90% of the people out there, going with the Google products, be it the Nest thermostat, the Nest doorbell cams, the Ring devices, any of the Echoes, that's going to work just fine for you. I think you're going to be really happy. And you can set a lot of it up yourself. And if not, there's in-home services for that.
And let's talk about downsides. For me, the only downsides is really for the piecemeal approach has just been the number of apps that I have to have on my phone. Because every time I go on Amazon and I get another switch from a different company, I don't really remember what companies I've used.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden I realize I haven't used this company before, so now I've got another app on my phone to set it up.
Yeah. I wish I had a great solution for that. Unfortunately, there just isn't. The best you could do is maybe create like a folder on your phone, where you dump all of the apps into. Another thing that people have told me is frustrating is when you're dealing with multiple manufacturers like that, each one, if it's a Wi-Fi enabled device, you'll have to put in your Wi-Fi code for, every time you add a new device to it. Whereas if you're sticking with just Google devices, they use a technology where they kind of share that information with each other. Mm-hmm. And so you don't have to do it as frequently. Another thing that you can do is, when switching over to, let's say, a new router. Let's say you've got the home router that was provided from your internet service provider, and it's very basic. It's got your modem router built in, and maybe it handles 4 or 5 devices just fine. But as your smart home grows and you get a smart TV, a smart washer, a smart dryer, a smart microwave, a few lights, a doorbell, 7 cameras, it starts having a hard time managing those things. And not only that, but maybe you want to put a camera on the side of your house and maybe your Wi-Fi doesn't go that far. Mm-hmm. Well, now you might want to consider a different router option, like a mesh system. Mesh system that I use is called TP-Link Deco. Mm-hmm. And are you familiar with that?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's 3 different nodes, and you kind of put them within proximity to each other. So I've got one in my office, another one in my dining room, and another one actually on my back patio. And so they kind of create this triangle to give you better coverage throughout the home. And not only that,
but speed.
Speed. Yep, that's what I was just going to talk about. So your speed goes up exponentially. Your lag between, let's say you open up your app to look at your cameras and it's like loading, that decreases, so things open sooner. You get your notifications right away. And something I just realized is I wanted to upgrade my TP-Link Deco system to the newer one that came out that had better coverage. And it made things very easy because I was dreading it. I thought that it was going to be like most devices where you do that, and now I've got 16 different smart devices in my home, and now I got to go through and reconnect each one to the network again. This was very simple. I just plugged the new node into the old one. I opened up the app, and it transferred over all the settings so that when the new system was up, everything just linked.
Nice. Yeah, we switched to a mesh system. We were frustrated with CenturyLink, and what we were paying for we weren't seeing on Wi-Fi. And somebody recommended in the neighborhood. They said, "Well, you really should be on a mesh."
Which one did you guys go with?
Boy, that's a great question. I remember Eero. No,
Eero? Was it at Costco?
I think it was Amazon.
Amazon owns Eero.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember what it was, but they just kind of hang on the wall, on an outlet, and we got one down the hall. We got one, and we're talking an exponential difference in the speed of the devices that were on Wi-Fi.
So you'd say it was worth the investment?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's just everything connects well. We used to have a Wi-Fi extender we got rid of because we didn't need it anymore because those took care of everything.
Yeah, and those were kind of cumbersome to set up in comparison. A lot of times
the Wi-Fi extender was you had to. The stuff that was on it needed to be on that separate Wi-Fi, whereas the mesh, it was just you're still on the same system.
Right. It's got this like fast user switching, so if you go from one area to the house to another, it'll find the right one, and you won't even notice.
We don't notice anything.
Yeah. Where the other one, I ran into this. I had a 2-story house in Gilbert a few years back, and we just had horrible Wi-Fi downstairs, and the router was upstairs, and so we put in a range extender, and we would find that, when we're downstairs, we'd be connected to that, but then we'd get upstairs, and it was still trying to hang on to that signal.
Yeah.
And then if you didn't switch it over, you're like, gosh, I got to remember to switch it back, and forget it. It's gotten so much better.
Hey everyone, this is Kenny Klaus with Klausteam Real Estate Solutions. We know there's a lot of confusion in today's market, whether it's billboards, TV, radio, mail. Everyone's trying to get your attention. They offer one lane, where at the Klausteam we have over 20 different programs. We can help you navigate through to find out what's best for you. And remember, we work for you, they work for themselves. We're here to represent you and make sure you have the best experience possible.
Visit us at klausteam.com/call us first.
So when people put in new wall switches and things like that, what do they do with the old equipment?
So they can recycle it. So a lot of people don't know if they should just throw it in the dumpster. There's a lot of harmful metals in that stuff. You really don't want to do that. What we created is a free recycling program at our store. You can bring it right to our computer store, and we'll separate metals and plastics. We don't pay anything for it, but we don't charge you to do it either. A lot of companies do. And, if there's something with information on it, hard drives and that, we do a full wipe on it, make sure none of your stuff gets out there, and we can take care of cables, speakers, phones, printers, old doorbells, old routers, you name it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if this is overwhelming to somebody, but they still want to have the smart home, how do you guys help with that?
So we provide an in-home service where one of our technicians will come out to the house, and they'll help you set up your security on it. They'll help you download the app to your phone, show you how to use it, and even install the equipment.
Perfect. And how do they get a hold of you guys?
They can reach us at 480-380-5340, or they can jump on our website at bitsandbytesstore.com.
Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for spending time with us this week at State 48 Homeowner, the ins and outs of owning an Arizona home. You can connect with us for more information, submit topics you'd like us to discuss further, and you can see relevant videos, give us feedback, answer your real estate questions, and more at state48homeowner.com.